Like, I don't think we should just be throwing away AI technology because it could kill us all, you know? It was a moment where it felt like the masses online people could make shit shake by making noise on the internet about stuff, but I think they have wrangled our asses up into a nice, neat little bubble to where no matter how much you scream into the void online, that isn't going to change anything. And I think AI has taken that slot today, or at least or right now, when it comes to things to be mad at. I think it's shaped more by outrage mechanics than the actual structure of the issue. Let's address that AI is killing the planet. When you look at the overall numbers, it's still low single-digit % compared to everything, but it's the rate of growth was really scary. Another thing I want people to keep in mind is crypto, streaming, social media in general, they all use data centers. And at this point, I think they use more electricity than AI training. We'll come back to that. I'll find the information, I'll put that shit on the screen. So if I'm right or wrong, cook me on that. Let's address how AI works, particularly when it comes to like generative art, music, even LLMs. A lot of people's concept of AI is that it's just taking everybody's shit, and it kind of is. But their concept is that it's just like a database of other people's shit, and it just regurgitates those things based off of your inputs. It's a mathematical model of patterns. It's not a database of images to copy and paste from. It's billions of images with noise added to them, and it's basically asking the model, like, can it guess what noise was added, where the noise was added to the image and where the real image is, basically, and to guess what would be in the place of where the noise is. And it begins to learn this from the constant training of looking at images like that, to the point where when you generate an image, it's starting from noise. It's all noise, and then your words are basically what feeds the images. It takes away noise from the image until it gets something that's close to what you said in the prompt. Like, when it comes to shit like intellectual property, I think it's a real slippery slope. I have a documented history of my intellectual property being used and profited from by people who are high up in the industry and just people who are coming up trying to learn. And I was one of those people, and I'm still one of those people. There's things that I'm influenced by that live in my mind and influence how I do things. Shout out to my boy Connor. I feel like everything is a remix, bro. Everything that exists is built off of everything that existed before it, and nothing escapes that. It's just a mathematical representation of that. Like, motherfuckers been copying. They always gonna copy. There was copying before that. I don't think AI allowing people to make copies of shit is gonna make somebody automatically get profit from that. I don't want to skip over like the whole like consent aspect of it too. Like, these models being trained off of literally like all types of random shit on the internet without nobody's permission. I just feel like I said before, it's a slippery slope. Because I don't think art moves forward without the free movement of ideas. So I'm gonna have to take the devil's advocate approach when it comes to that part of the argument. Like, I think ideas need to move freely. I think art needs to move freely. Sometimes your shit gets took and it ends up influencing somebody to make something cool. I've been through it, and after years of going through that, I understand it. It might suck sometimes when it's like a power dynamic at play, but I think in general, like, we're all sharing, bro. It's a big fucking potluck of swag. I'm sorry. And also, people's concept of AI is like, it's just like a super Google and some shit that you make like slop images with. And I don't think people really understand the full scope of what AI technology is doing right now. There's medical applications for AI. There's research teams all over the world that are coming up with novel treatments for cancer. This is where the discourse falls apart the most. Another side movement that's been popping up in opposition to AI is like this whole analog lifestyle, and people are using old pieces of technology. And I think it's cool. I've always had a thing for old shit, especially when it comes to cameras. So I always like integrating film, VHS, Betamax, old digital cameras, mirrorless, all that. I always liked weaving those technologies together. And I'm still on that. So the film base is petroleum plastic. And to develop the film, developing film involves mad chemicals that literally pollute water supplies. And in digital cameras, those chips in the camera, the sensor that captures the image, Those are created with rare earth minerals. That has an environmental cost too. So shooting analog is not the solution. The film industry is very, very, very taxing on the environment. Like just making the chips for cameras uses hella ultra pure water, hella chemicals. So it's like, it's some fuckery going on all the way down, but it's not the technologies in themselves, it's capitalism. The real problem with all this shit, with AI in the capitalist context, is like all this shit is being made and profited from without including the people that it was built off of. That I'm with everybody on. I'm not willing to erase or destroy AI because of it, because I'm not new to that. Literally all the forms of media that I love were also built off of the backs of regular folks, and then it just, I don't know, trickles up to the few that have the resources to put themselves in front, or to just take your shit. AI is just showing you the system of capitalism in a more mathematical way. I feel like it's making it more obvious. It's compressing all the displacement of technological shifts and industrial shifts. It's compressing that down into like a small handful of years. It's compressing it down to a number of years you can count on your hand, rather than something that takes like decades or a century, like the Industrial Revolution and shit like that. I ain't gonna act like it's not fucked up that a new technology being presented basically puts people out of jobs. But that's something that's been happening, and that's a problem with capitalism. That's not something that stopping AI is gonna fix. This technology could exist without killing the planet. It's just these greedy motherfuckers put profit over everything. So when you put profit before making fucking sense, then you have a situation like we're in now where the earth is being heated up because motherfuckers don't care. They should figure it out. Since AI is so fucking smart, they need to figure out all the people whose data was used for training, for music, for art, and create some type of royalty system for them, and find some way to track it like they do with like BMI and ASCAP and all that shit. There should be some type of AI royalty tracker or something. Like if these motherfuckers want to profit from it, then there should be royalties paid for that. I think people need to expand what they know about AI and not just resign to the idea that it's just a slot machine. There's actual cool shit. There's actual like beneficial advances being made. Not everything is just the AI copy and pasting. So if you hate slop, you know what I'm saying? I'm with you. Slop existed before AI. So I need people to really learn how all this shit really works, and don't just run with what people tell you to run with. Think for yourself. I'm probably gonna get dragged. I don't give a fuck.